nobody selling you crack. You know why? Because I never saw you before. But you a black man like me. That's right. And it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. BLACKWATCH. Let the show begin.
Yeah. What's going on, Israel? ISUPK.com is the website. I'm Commander General Yahanna in the building with some of the heavy hitters coming through tonight. Okay. General Ma'ala in the house. Shalom, General. All the way up from D-Ware, Officer to Zion, holding it down. Officer Yediah up on the podium, bringing us in. And Officer Marah on the helm. Is Ibad up there with y'all? And Officer Ibad on the helm. Come. So, we got a lot to talk about tonight.
Shout out to Ibad.
Okay. Yeah. We got a lot to talk about tonight. This is the sunning down of the closing of the feast. Okay. Tonight to tomorrow night, Lord willing, we'll have a celebration tomorrow night. Say again.
It ended tonight, sir.
Oh, it ended tonight. Tonight was the closeout.
All
right. So we'll be getting together on that, correct?
It's just class memorial. They did the class and everything.
Okay, so we memorial it out.
Yeah, it's no closing. They got it in for 8 days though.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing it
Damn
up.
right. Small thing for the I.S.U.P.K.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get it on. So what we dealing with first, Yediah?
Khan, sir. Barbados ends allegiance to British crown and becomes republic, symbolizing the end of colonization.
Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Before we even go to that, right? Before we even go to that, y'all gotta let me bring this out.
Yes, sir.
About Einstein. And the reason why I wanted to bring this out about Einstein was so important because at this closing of Hanukkah, right? Can y'all hear me? Am I coming in clear?
Sir.
All right. At this closing of Hanukkah, right? And as we've closed it out for the night and for the 8 days, what's real heavy is how they don't even believe in that they're the real Jews. They know that they're not the real Jews, and they still want to hold on to our culture. And so everybody knows Albert Einstein was one of their top scientists, so-called theory of relativity. And he's supposedly one of their smartest scientists, correct? Well, check out what Einstein said back in the 1930s when he was here in America and they were trying to get him to integrate. This is Albert Einstein, and it's important. That's why it was so important for us during the Hanukkah to know and understand what it is that we were fighting for back then, because it is exactly what we're fighting for today. Like the Lord said, there's no new thing under the sun. So check this out. This is Albert Einstein's words himself. He said, anti-Semitism will be a psychological phenomenon as long as Jews come in contact with non-Jews. He said it will be a psychological phenomenon. Now check out what he said. What harm can there be in that? Meaning, what harm could there be in, coming together with Jews and non-Jews? Here's what he said. Perhaps it's due to the anti-Semitism that we survive as a race. At least that is what I believe. So in other words, Albert Einstein did not believe in America's idea of integration. Albert Einstein said anti-Semitism was the reason. He said anti-Semitism was the reason he survived as a race.
God.
So while we think it, man, look what happened with Donald Trump. Look how much these white supremacists are rising up and hating us and coming against us. That so-called anti-Semitism, because we're the real Jews, that anti-Semitism, brother, is why we still survive as a race. Because in other words, according to Albert Einstein, one of the geniuses, if we had mixed with the Edomites and the rest of the races, we would be wiped out.
Right.
According to him.
That's true.
Okay. And it makes sense. They came out with a report this week that Dylan Ruth is running a white supremacist gang in prison. Prospering and taking over and ruling all up in the prison. And they turned around and said that, them Edomites that got locked up over there in Virginia when they ran over that Edomite?
God.
Okay. Say again?
The Charlottesville thing, sir?
Yeah, the Charlottesville situation.
Okay.
In the Charlottesville situation, the Edomite got run over, so they locked a bunch of them Edomites up. And those Edomites were white supremacists. They said Dylan Ruth is running a gang so damn notorious that Dylan Ruth made the white supremacists that got locked up give up their member list to be recruited by his gang. They said Dylan Ruth is like a big dog in prison after killing them brothers and sisters. For those of you that may not know, Dylan Ruth is the Edomite that went into that church in South Carolina and murdered 9 black people in that church. Murdered 9 people in that church. They gave him life in prison. The families turned around and said, we forgive him. Now he's in jail recruiting white supremacists to his gang. Okay? Here's what else Einstein said in his closing of the Hanukkah. He said, I am neither German citizen, nor is there in me anything that can be described as Jewish faith. He knew he wasn't a Jew or a German. He said, but I am happy to belong to the Jewish people, even though I don't regard them as the chosen people. Albert Einstein, he said he don't even regard them as the chosen people. He knew his history. He knew his history. He knew who he was. Even though they were celebrating our high holy day, he knew that they were not us. And he knew the integration wasn't for us. They was on a whole different program. And they still on that program, but they push us into integration, which has been an amazing failure to us as a people.
That's right.
Okay. Let me give him one more.
And if I can,
go ahead.
I saw a video, like you said, that old anti-Semitism. That's
right.
a technological mess to make the world run from.
Yeah,
like you can't even say anything that's true about Amalek or because of that term, and you'll be, especially if you're getting some money from Esau, they try to cancel you, cut you off, and all that. Like I saw a video where it could have been a Christian Israel. I ain't sure who it was, but somebody disrupted this little white girl. Some video she saw, she came on and said, I'm Jewish, and I see a lot of videos where these guys are saying we're fake Jews. Oh, she said, I saw a crowd of black men, and I thought it was Black Lives Matter, so I walked in to give support. And when I got there, they asked me, who I'm from and who I was. I said, I'm Jewish. And they started saying, you're a fake Jew. You're a fake Jew. Die, Jew. Get out of here, you fake Jew. And I just want to make this video because she was mad. Anti-Semitism is real, and the people are still out here being anti-Semitic, and there's a whole mess. Like, even if you tell them, listen, you know, history and records show that you are not the real Jews. To them, that you're anti-Semitic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And most people who give a damn about how they look to our oppressor in this world, they'll stay away from that.
Right.
They got the world subdued with that term, sir.
You're right. You're right. Now check out another prominent so-called Jew, Solomon Schechter. He had similar views as Einstein. According to him, he said Jews could not assimilate because the presence of Jews in a nation, in a host nation, ultimately led to anti-Semitism due to Jewish partisanship. It is this kind of assimilation that is the death of a race through integration. Now, these are so-called Jews that lived under the Germans. And they said assimilation was the death of a nation. With terrible consequences indicated that I dread even more than programs. Like this cat said he dreaded, this is him here. He said that he dreaded them more than the programs that they put together to try to so-called help the Jews. All the programs and things they put together, he said was nothing compared to how destructive this was.
And talking about assimilation.
Yeah. Let me read it again real quick. He said Jews could not assimilate because the presence of Jews in a nation, in a host nation, ultimately led to anti-Semitism. In other words, you try to assimilate us to Esau, and you cannot do it. He's trying to tell you you cannot do it. Because if you have a host nation, it's going to lead to hate of that lower nation.
Right.
Now, he's calling it anti-Semitism, but we understand exactly what it is. And that's exactly what happened here. And that's what's happening to us today. So that's why it's ridiculous that we're trying to go down the same path that prominent intellectuals and scientists in the so-called Jewish community during the time of the Nazis said was impossible to do. And that's why, even though many of them don't even believe that they're Jews, that's why they hold on to our identity. That's why they was worshiping the Hanukkah this weekend. Because that's what they know, it gives them power. It gives them power. That's why I read what I read about Einstein. He said, I'm neither German or none of that. He said, but I'm happy to be part of the Jewish, so-called community. He happy to be part of that bunch because they got power. But he himself knew they were not Jews. You understand? And he said integration. He says it is the death of a race through integration with terrible consequences indicated that I dread it more than program. Like that's what the hell he said.
God, that's what black people need to learn that.
Yes, like he looked at that like integration will wipe out your nation. God. And that's exactly what happened. Go ahead, John. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Totally right. We just read a story down about the Maccabees and how Mattathias and them, rather than let these people slaughter them because it was the Sabbath, said, no, we can't let them kill us, man. And because they'll get rid of our whole race. Like they was killing babies, the women, and all that. Yeah. Like we can't assimilate, nor can we let them just get rid of our race. So if they come to step to us on the Sabbath, it's on. That's we fight back. And that was heavy to preserve the race because they was either they wanted us to assimilate or they wanted to commit genocide.
Right.
Boom.
And a lot of Israel was letting them slide.
And they were making it like if you put any race underneath a host race, that's going to breed them hating that race. He said by them being under the Germans is how anti-Semitism was created. So us being under Esau is how anti-black was created.
God.
If I may, sir.
Go ahead.
We getting a little lag, a little small delay.
You looking like it could get worse?
We can't see. Oh, Colonel Wakan. It looks
looking like it could get worse.
Looks like it's.
Yeah, Colonel Wakan, sir.
What do you want to do?
I mean,
we can't roll with it if you can't
Yeah.
do nothing about it. It's just like a second. Like we'll hear it before we see you say it. About 2 seconds.
Okay. You say roll with it, General?
Yes, I think we can roll with it. I don't know what people are seeing.
Okay. Open up a chat, let everybody, so I can see what everybody's seeing. All right, let's keep going then. What else we dealing with? We'll go back to that story then, if it's all right with y'all.
Colonel Wakan, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Barbados ends allegiance to British crown and becomes republic, symbolizing the end of colonization.
So the Benjamites is free on that, so-called free, huh? I don't think it means nothing. I think it just means they made a deal.
Right.
And they're going to still rule over the miles. They still rule over the miles. All those islands pay some form of tribute to Esau.
Yep. Kind of a con.
You know what I mean? Every last one of them pay some type of tribute to Esau. But it's always good to get away from this beast if you can.
And it's like guys' question. So the East Indians, do Esau let them play a big part over there in the islands? They got some power.
The East Indians in the Caribbean is like Edomites.
Con,
sir.
It's like Edomites. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? It's beautiful if they, here's what they have to be able to do to call it free. And none of the 12 tribes are going to be completely free until Yahawashi returns. So, it's nice that they're doing that, but who knows? Somebody else can invade them. Who knows what kind of economic poverty they about to fall into? Believe you me, Esau ain't cutting them loose for no reason. It's probably because it's costing Esau a king's ransom to keep them under. It's costing Esau a king's ransom to keep them under them. So, of course, they'll make a deal like they did even with us in America. They so-called gave us equal rights in America, but here's what's really going on. Really, they just sending us out in the field to pay for our own housing, our own food, our own clothing, which is what the slave master had to do in the past.
Right.
In the past, the slave master had to do that. Now, we have to do it on our own. And it's the same with them. They're going to cut them off and get the money away from them. You know what I mean? You right, Doc. The Benjamites are waking up all over. You know what I mean? They've been waking up, brother, since the 70s with all of the reggae music. They've been waking up and figuring out who we are and coming back to their identity. But they still starve. I guarantee you there's all kinds of rules and tariffs and things that they have to go through to have this so-called independence. And it's also to fool the world into making them think that they are righteous and that they are dealing justly with the world. When you all you got to do is talk to Parasha and the brothers in England, and you'll know right off the top the extreme racism that they're using against the brothers out there. You know what I mean? Remember, they're the same ones that said we'll build a jail for all of those brothers and sisters that they want to send back. They got a name for them. Anybody know the name? They got a special name for them brothers and sisters that went over there in the 60s. Some of them brothers and sisters, they said, died in the house trying to hide from the deportation. Some of them been around there 40, 50, 60 years. And they hiding because they don't want to be deported. So they hiding themselves away and trying their best to not be caught. Because after them, they're living there their whole life, the government decided to put them out. You understand? So we are never going to be completely free until we come back as a nation. They'll give us a government over, but let me tell you something. Let that government wake up tomorrow and decide to do something for their people that is against Esau. You understand?
Right.
You know what I mean? Let us do that. You know what I mean? We do that, and let's see what they do.
Cut it one cut.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Sir? It wasn't. You ain't the name they were called. It wasn't Afro-Caribbean, that type of thing.
No. They had the more derogatory term for them. Just the ones that came over there to do that work. I can't remember off the top of my head, but if it comes up, we'll bring it out. But go ahead, let's roll. You got it,
sir.
Go ahead.
I seen a few people typing in the chat room. It's called the wind rush. Wind rush generation?
The wind rush. Yes, that's it. The wind rush generation. Big shout out to BLACKWATCH. Okay, big shout out for Adolfo last. Big shout out to y'all. You right. The wind rush generation. They was a generation that came up here. They basically built and renovated all of England. They came over there during that time and renovated England and renovated the country, worked in construction, built them, skyscrapers. And remember now, they did all of this after hundreds of years of being in slavery in the Caribbean. You understand? Cutting sugar cane and coconut. Sugar was a big export out of the Caribbean. Sugar. I mean, they was deporting sugar out by the boatload and working them people to death down there, man, torturing them and all of that. And the so-called Jew was in that too. The so-called Jew had slave plantations in the Caribbean. It wasn't just the regular Edomites over here. The so-called Jew had it. You understand? The so-called Jew had us in captivity, in slavery, and was raping them girls. They was one of the biggest rapists of black women in the Caribbean.
God, sir.
They were one of the biggest sets of rapists. They had so many children by black women in the Caribbean that they was leaving property and different things to their slave women's sons. The sons that they was having from them slaves, the so-called, because here's you want to hear something weird. The so-called Jew who believes our law, statutes, and commandments, when he got old and ready to die, according to the scriptures, you have to give your inheritance to the son. You know how the Lord said you can't, even if you don't love the son, you still got to give him that inheritance. That's in the law. Well, the so-called Jew knew one, that the father carried the seed, and then he knew also, not only did he know the father carried the seed, but he also knew that he had to give an inheritance. He didn't want to have to give an inheritance, but he had to give an inheritance, and gave a lot of his inheritances to those Benjamites that was in the Caribbean whose mothers was slaves that he was raping,
right,
and got pregnant on his deathbed. And of course, many of them governments being ruled by the British just stole whatever it is that was given to them. They just turned around and stole it right back.
You know what
I mean? And so these nations, this is 2020, end of 2021, these nations these brothers trying to get free from Esau. But they still got to rely on him in every other way. That's Esau is ruling the whole Americas, man.
Basically,
right.
North, Central, and South America. He ruling it with an iron fist. Okay? You can't buy a mango. You couldn't buy a mango without him giving the okay. You can't sell a bushel of bananas without him saying it's all right. You know what I mean? You can't sell a coconut. They're damn near string you up for selling a coconut. That's what led to the Haitian rebellion. The Haitian rebellion with Toussaint Overture, that rebellion was based on the sugar cane. That was based on what the way the Europeans, mainly the French, were running the slaves to death with growing and cutting sugar cane. If you know anything about sugar cane, them bamboo shoots are sharp as hell. Like it's hell being in the sugar cane field out trying to cut sugar cane. All them spikes and all them leaves that's on them, all of them got sharp edges. And you in the dead heat, you can't put heavy clothes on. Working from sun up to sun down, they were working them brothers and sisters to death down there. where he got tired of it, man, and then rebelled and took over. And sadly, even after he took over, to keep growing the economy in Haiti to get free, he had to have the Haitians still cut sugar cane. He said, "I'm cutting the sugar cane for them. You got to cut it now for ourselves." So they had to still cut the sugar cane to help fight to get their freedom. And them Edomites, once again, if you're looking at Barbados as a great victory, like I'm sure they celebrating and partying and swear life is beautiful, they need to go look at the Haitians who got free. The so-called Haitians, the tribe of Levi, are the children of the Lord. They got free in what year was it? 18, 17, something? They got free hundreds of years ago. And look at Haiti today. Look at Haiti today. Haiti is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. One of the first free black countries, so-called black countries, is the most poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. 1804. Big shout out to Dave Thomas. I see y'all up on your game here. Yeah, I got some smarty arts up in here. Go Israel, righteous and filthy.
That's right.
Filthy. 1804, the water, y'all. Like 1804, what is that? 1904? 1922. That's over 100 and something years, correct? That's like 100 and what? Off 21, 17. That's 117 years since they got free. And look at Haiti. So let's not look at that. Let's not be foolish and believing that this means that, they're going to prosper into the millennium. They starved Puerto Rico to death. Puerto Rico is in hell right now. Yep. Deep in economic crisis, robbed by the politicians blind. And starved in submission because they talked about getting free from the United States. They talk about breaking away from the United States. Well, they buried the island. They buried the island, man. Okay, and they'll do it again, without a doubt. Like if the people, the brothers and sisters that's down there that truly want to be free, they got to do the Most High. You let me tell you something. You cannot get out of it without the Lord saying, "I'm gonna bring you out." What did the scripture say? And y'all can pull the scripture. It said, we all know it from Deuteronomy, where the Lord said, "No man shall buy you."
Right.
Nobody's going to come and get you out of this hell but the Most High.
Yeah, I'm right.
You know what I mean? But the Most High. And brother, and we better adhere to his rules and regulations. We better come on and deal with him, man. You might not like him. You might not like his laws, statutes, and commandments. You might not like all that, but you better obey him. You better obey him, because otherwise you are never going to get free. You're going to think you can get free. You know what I mean? And who would trust an Edomite to give your country freedom?
Right.
Who would trust them? That means, brother, they're going to cut economic ties to the ground. Like the question is, with that freedom, how much fruits and vegetables can they sell? Who can they sell them to?
Right.
That's why all of our fruits and vegetables come from Mexico, because they got the rest of the Caribbean strangling them to death. You can't even grow a banana. The poverty rate down there is something like 40-1 in Jamaican countries. It should be nothing to buy bananas out of Jamaica. When you 40-1, $40 to $1, a bushel of bananas ain't supposed to be no more than $5. $5 is $200 in Jamaica. So you telling me with $200 you can't buy a bushel of bananas? Of course you can. Well, why can't you get them up here? Because they decide who will sell what and who will not. And because of it, brothers, all them brothers and sisters in poverty in Haiti, shooting up one another, trying to survive. All them shanty towns down there in Jungle and Tivoli down there in Jamaica. Brothers living with damn aluminum siding is basically what they living under. All that because this Edomite have decided how he was going to starve these brothers and sisters, man. All that is because of that. Okay? The same way he did it up here with the tribe of Judah. And that's what he did, and that's what he kept going. But the Most High is raising up an army, a righteous army, an army that stands with the Lord. And that army, brother, is going to perform miracles before this evil world and wake up the eyes of the prophets of the Lord. And they probably been working for years to put the right politicians in place. You understand? The right politician. Every man and woman, and understand this, every politician, every black leader, every religious leader that have tried to work within Esau's system have failed the Lord's chosen people. And the Lord showed it to us time and time again. You could search the scriptures. One thing we know about the scriptures is that the scriptures are a clear understanding of how to operate during slavery. All right, let's roll on back.
Damn right, General.
Damn right.
Like how you said, sir, the Bible says that in salvation and the help of the government is a vain thing. I'm paraphrasing Jeremiah 3:23.
Look at that. Look at that. Look, wait, go back to that. Go, Salakia, General, just for a second. Let him go back. Look at that. Look at that. That thing's about to collapse on her and her baby. That's Jamaica housing. Okay? That's pallet wood. That's pallet wood you looking at. About to fall over on her head. And that ain't because Jamaica can't produce. That's because Jamaica is independent from England. Right. That's why. Jamaica is independent from England. You understand? So don't look at it like a victory in, what is it, Barbados? I wouldn't be looking at it as a victory in Barbados. I'd be looking at it like it could become, look at this here. Look at this here. This is God's chosen people, brother.
Right.
This is the chosen people you read about in the Bible. This is them right here. Look how they live. This is the people, or they look at the scriptures in their house, still holding on to the scriptures, trying their best. This is who God is coming to get. That's why he said in them scriptures, hell from beneath is removed to meet you at your coming. These prophecies are, the scriptures said, none of these shall fail. Look at that. That's a house, by the way. I thought for a minute, Marad turned to just a junk pile. That's somebody's house. That's the entrance on the right. That's where somebody living. Because of the extreme poverty in the country. And of course, what comes with poverty? Crime. Violence. Drug addiction. They know this. They done studied these out in think tanks in Harvard and Yale. You understand?
Right.
In Dartmouth, in MIT. They've studied all of these things over years and years and years, have compiled tons of data. Look at how she living. That's her home. Where she go to bed at night.
Oh yeah, Khan, sir.
And you sit up there and seen what's his name? Is he the prince? Who the hell is he? The cat that went over there, that old dude that went over there and participated in the ceremony. Prince Charles. No, not him. He's like the consort to the queen, but he's not a king. He's a consort. That's like her man, but he ain't. The king. So anyway, he went over there and had the ceremony and everything. And of course, they looked at it like, they struggled and got free, but that is not the case. That is not the case at all. Esau ain't freeing nobody, nor does he care about anybody but himself. All right. So I didn't mean to cut you off, General. What were you trying to say?
No sweat, sir.
Salaki.
No sweat, sir. Right. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, there you go, right there. They made it ceremonious, made it, wonderful. 396 years. 396 years. Now you Negroes gonna pay for your own food, your own clothes, your own military. your own business and commerce. We ain't doing it for you no more. You're gonna do it for yourself.
If I may, sir.
Come.
If I may, sir, like this just shows like the extent that they'll go to make us believe that we're free. You know, and like what we definitely have to understand is that, white supremacy is global. So they'll totally destroy the country economically, and then those same people will be over here at the border on the Mexican border. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like every time, like the scriptures say, like, though he humble himself, you know what I mean, he's always ready to draw a sword. And I'm paraphrasing Salakia, but and it just shows like here, like they'll, like, I remember I was reading this book about how they used to, when they would put the slaves in like a outhouse, when they would put them in there for weeks, or and then they would let them free. They would make them think that they were free, but they would let them out into the cotton field. And the slave would feel like he was free, but he was still in the cotton field. You know what I mean? And it's just shows like how, without the Lord in it, you can't get free. It's like we tried everything. You know what I mean? Without the Lord, that main element, it's not gonna work.
That's right. Them 396 years they ain't have a change of heart. They did this for their own economics. Who knows what they're gonna have running through there after this? They didn't do this out of the great kindness of their heart. What I want to know is, what was that cat doing standing so close behind the Edomite? Was that for security purposes, or what was that? That was ridiculous. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. It was shameful that they did the whole ceremony dressed up in old English military uniform. Them old white hats and all that. That's British military.
I don't come.
You understand? Like before this day came, they should have searched out their own culture and found out that they was one of the 12 lost tribes of Israel. They should have been out there in garments with fringes and studs taking over. That's to let you know that that's just really a show. Esau will be ruling for a lot longer, believe me. Not a lot longer, because Christ is about to return. But you get my point.
If I may, sir.
Please.
What you bringing out is so heavy, and I'm trying to be quiet over here, but you said something like,
no, don't be quiet. Get in, please.
You said something heavy, sir. When you said that they still keep those same, they still got those same that kind of that British style of government. They still kept that. It's the same in Africa. In Africa, they still wear those wigs. Where those African countries that was
those English, those white wigs.
The British left there too, and they still kept the wigs. So it's still showing that same influence, you know what I mean, of Esau is still there.
Yes. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna take on that spirit of the Sadducees and Pharisees. And hell, and okay, if not for the Lord, they're gonna put hell on them people now, because now they got to raise them economics now. Now government officials will be tempted to sell drugs and to do all kind of evil things that governments do that are outside of Yahushua, the king. Yeah. You know what I mean? So the day of celebration will be in the kingdom of heaven. That'll be the day of celebration. Okay. Anything else?
That's right, sir.
Anything else on that?
General.
Okay. Let's keep going.
Khan made the tough decision. Couple had enough, pulled kids from upstate New York school district after years of unchecked racism.
Go ahead.
Khan, Victoria Love has had enough of the onslaught of racism within the predominantly white Pittsford Central School District, which is 8 miles outside of Rochester, New York. She pulled her 6th grader and 11th grader out of Pittsford School District to a smaller school after they faced repeated racial slurs.
Damn. And let me tell you something. Once again, okay, I'm telling you, what I tell you comes from the Most High. You better know and understand that it comes from the Lord. And I told y'all out there that it was going to rise up in these schools. You understand? what is it called? United States versus Brown.
Brown versus Board of Education.
Brown versus Board of Education. Brown versus the Board of Education, brother, is about to get reversed. The Board of Education is about to win the battle. Brown won the battle in the 60s, but the Board of Education, they're about to win the battle. What do I mean by that? That they're going to rise in every integrated school that is predominantly white. They're going to rise with racism. They already doing it. They already doing it now. And so-called Black and Latino children are catching hell in these integrated schools. They catching raw hell in these integrated schools because, of course, now the Edomites are fully galvanized in the hating the Black and Latino students. The students can't even ride the bus without these devils saying something, pulling their hair. They got Black kids shamed to wear their hair out because the way these Edomites is talking about their hair. They beating the spirit out of the Black children to where the Black children they try to disappear going to school. They trying to hide and disappear and just be unseen. And brother, that's hell on a child at the ages when that child should be able to express themselves and let their spirit out. That child is crushed under the spirit of this place. It was a bad mistake. Martin Luther King was a horrible leader. John Lewis was a horrible leader. Right. And they've led us to this point. Every step that we've made in this movement has brought hell on us. Once again, I told everybody, do not put that Hamite in over the top of you. Do not violate the Most High like that. There are certain things that you do that will violate the Most High. You understand? That will violate, that will make them, that'll be like a disrespect to the Most High. It's like, it's like throwing a drink in the Lord's face. And you go out and put a Hamite over the top of us after 400 years. It's like throwing a drink in the Most High's face and saying, shut the hell up, man. I'm going to do what I want to do. And meanwhile, that's your Father in heaven. You violated. And then, of course, you ready to repent when he pulled that belt out and beat your behind. Everything you see going on now is because you put that Hamite over the Lord's chosen people. You understand? And listen, you put that Hamite over the Lord's chosen people, you Christians, and you got everything in the world that he did not do for you, you got done to you by them. Meaning he didn't do nothing for you. But by you putting him in office, galvanize them to turn on you as if he did do everything for you.
Right.
That's why even when they talk about him, they don't talk about him saying he did this for blacks and not whites. They don't say that about him. They say, oh, he's an African. He's a Muslim. They say he's a Muslim. You went and put a Hamite over here with a Muslim name just because you thought it was going to save America, dummy.
Right.
When it didn't save America, it made America hate you even more.
That's right.
Made you, and you still dumb and sleep when it made America hate you even more, and you got nothing for it. I could see if you had put a brother in office, right? And a brother said, we got to straighten this out because it's been bad, and he passed a bunch of laws, and they hated him for it. And then they came back and put Donald Trump in and white power and white supremacy. Then I could be like, well, that was par for the course. You put a brother over you. The brother did good things for you. You understand? And so you getting some backlash for it. But you got nothing.
Right.
That Hamite got up there and said, you ain't no father just because you have babies. And then went and negotiated with the Iranians, a bunch of terrorists, over nuclear weapons and let them build a nuclear program for 10 more years. But you ain't a man because just because you have a baby. He threw mud on the one piece. He didn't have nothing ill to say about nobody. But he threw mud on the one people that nobody would have a problem with. That's the black man.
God.
And that's the Hamite you raged in the streets for. Put posters all through the hood for. ran up in people's houses. I was battling Edomites. Edomites was battling me on the street over putting this Hamite in office, man. Like white people was battling me, like, you gonna put him in office? He deserved to be this and this and that. They still got that clown Van Jones on CNN.
God.
That nigga done cried about 10 times on CNN over what they did. Rush Limbaugh said something, he cried. Donald Trump said something, he cried. That Negro cry every time a white supremacist come out and say some old harsh mess to him. He get up there and start to crying.
Right.
Meanwhile, you was the main one pushing Obama, man.
Right.
When you should have put a brother up there. They should listen. You should have had a reason for them to be mad. Even Biden did more. Biden passed that old 1.79 trillion. Obama's supposed a brother would have went up in there, brother, and passed 10 billion. Brother would have went up in there, brother, and everybody would have been leaning in a fresh ass ride. And you know, businesses, he'd have been like, it's the time for black people to come together, man. A brother would have unified us. A brother would have strengthened us. A brother would have introduced the ideas of us being strong.
Right.
Instead, he said, I'm the president for everybody. And they bought it hook, line. They still buying it hook, line, and center. Meanwhile, he did absolutely nothing.
Nothing. You
for our benefit.
Nothing. You went all the way to Chicago and tried to warn him, General.
Say again?
You went all the way to Chicago and tried to warn him.
I was on that road. Y'all, you was with me. I was on the ground. I was bringing them the true, pure words of the Most High.
For sure.
That's us in D.C. during the Obama election, putting it down.
Come. That's who they should have voted for.
Damn, hey, you damn right they should have voted for me. Are you talking about me? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, they should have voted for me. I would have passed a 20 trillion. I would have passed, brother. It would have been a stimulus package so big. They would have been shook to their knees. I'd have evened the playing field. I'd have told every black person. I'd have passed the law. Damn right. I would have passed the law that every black woman is to have her baby because we gonna make sure you take care of.
Damn right, sir.
I would have got our numbers up from that day to now. Oh man, we'd have had about 10 million more babies. Raised our people up, leveled the playing field, started our own independent businesses. We would have been on the right track. They should have voted for me, man. I'd have moved the ball and put that Hamite up in there, man.
And that's what Esau know. Esau know. He know what's good for black people. He know but anything good for us will eventually create a strong challenge to him.
Yes.
And he know that. So all that is good for us, he put strong power and money behind thwarting it.
Exactly.
Get off the ground.
Exactly. And they know it. They know that they never wanted us to participate.
Right.
Put that Hamite in with all that power. He had the Democrat. He had more power than Joe Biden got right now. Joe Biden passed 1.9 trillion stimulus package, and he don't have as much power that Obama had when he was in the White House.
Right.
He didn't pass nothing, but I tell you what he did do. He saved Ford. He saved GM. He saved Chrysler.
The airlines.
He saved them with the TARP program. Right? He saved them.
The masses.
Joe Biden passed 1.9 trillion during a pandemic.
Yeah.
Which meant he could have stepped in after George Bush, brother, and really fixed Black America. But in this empire, you taught a black person is always begging and wants something. You don't need to give him nothing.
Right.
You always looking for a welfare check. You always mad. They was talking about on Fox News today how part of that stimulus package is expansion of welfare. Why they starved the Lord's chosen people to death on this planet. You understand? It was a damn mistake. We bought that garbage, man. So it ain't gonna be nothing different with Barbados. The difference is when you get ready to come hear what the prophets of God have to say. That's when it'll change. You get ready to come before the I.S.U.P.K. and finally say to yourself, man, let me go hear what it is they saying, because it's coming to pass every day. Then you're going to understand what it is. So, y'all, let me let y'all jump in. I ain't mean to hog it up. Go ahead.
And General, listen, if I could, sir.
Please.
They use the same program on us over and over again. Every last one of them. They use that daggone Christian church.
Yep.
Everything derogatory about us is being said about us in that church. And they pointed towards the brothers. That church is full of women. Women listening. Men who are feminine. But them catch them brothers in the streets, they always dogging them in that Christian church. All the policies to get them votes or get them to vote for them always happen in the Christian church.
Right.
Yeah. Why Obama said what he said.
Yeah.
Biden went to the Christian church. While Kamala Harris did the same exact thing. All of them go into our Christian church. Our downfall, like you said, sir, is that Christian church, man.
That's right.
Them so-called leaders that we have in this land, who are not they're charlatans. They're what you call hoe. They're prostitutes, man. They hoeing for money.
You right.
They don't care who giving them money, but they want that money.
Yeah.
And what they giving up for that money is us.
Yep.
We the bartering tool. We the ones who they use to get what they want. There ain't nobody blocking and stopping the damage going on. Even right now, what's going on? They talking all this stuff right now. Almost every ghetto in America where we live at is being gentrified. And we're being pushed out. So where these leaders at now?
Exactly.
Help stop the push of us being destroyed once again. They nowhere to be found.
Right.
Their coffers got filled up, man. Slocky, sir.
You right. Damn right.
Modern day Pharisees and Sadducees, huh? You know what I'm saying? They seats is what they care about. The seats and power, and they put on the illusion like they helping Israel. The illusion like they doing the right thing. When they just, they just buttering up the hand of the people that feed them. You know what I'm saying? They kissing up to them.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Happened during the time of Christ is happening now.
They should be calling it the Church of America instead of the Christian church. It should be called the Church of America, or the Church of Black America, or the American Church of Black America, something. But it surely ain't the Christian church. It's really teach you the philosophy of America. Teach you how to be a sodomite. For those of you that don't understand, that have an alternative lifestyle. Teach you how to kill your baby in the abortion clinic. Teach you how to be loudmouth, rude, and immoral. Teach a man that he could dress up like a woman and put on a dress and makeup. Teach you to only seek out the gain of money. There ain't nothing wrong with seeking no money, but the love of that money that they have brings all the evil in. The rape, the murder, the child molestation, the drug dealing, the drug using, everything that's in the world. Everything that's in the world comes from your mother and father that's up in that church. That's where it all comes from. And all the crime in the penitentiary, all of it comes from that. All the hoeing, all the nastiness, all the madness, all of it's coming out of that hole, out of that dead zone, that American black church, which is a hellhole for our people. It makes you immune to the pain of your people, immune to the suffering that they going through. Go ahead, y'all. Sloppy.
And that's what they didn't do. Like you said, it really should be the Church of America, because they didn't took the Christians, that word. You know what I'm saying? They made it into some slave, I love Master, do everything for Master type of spirit. That's what the modern day Christian is. The Christians of today is nothing like the Christians in that Bible. Of course, we all know the Christians in the Bible were Israelites. You understand?
Yeah.
Christian meaning they followed the Christ, the King. You understand? Right. But these Christians of today, they do not follow the king. They follow the oppressor. They follow So really, if you could change it, like you said, an American, you know what I'm saying? American.
Exactly.
It should be another name, but Christian today is synonymous with American.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
So I was thinking about something, right? This last election they had when Biden was running, and Biden made a comment like where y'all at? Now, y'all supposed to vote for me. You want the racism to stop. Trying to counter Donald Trump, right? And he was in them Christian churches. But he did an interview as well. They asked him about his policy on that policy he started got signed that put all our brothers and sisters in jail right now while we got almost 2 million more men right now in jail than we have in slavery, right?
Right.
And he made the comment and said he don't regret what he did. Like he didn't regret locking up our brothers and sisters with that policy he had and calling us jungle bunnies and all that stuff there. He didn't regret those things. But yet he had the audacity to come to church and get us to vote for him. Them same silly behind women in church got kids and babies that were put in jail because of his policies.
Right.
That died on these streets and still voted for that man.
Yeah.
He knew it because all he had to do was get the okay from the preacher.
That's right.
Master said, go ahead and go. Come on, go teach my people. Go ahead, Master. The master gave me some money. At that part, always blew my mind the fact that he had the audacity to say he don't feel bad about what he did. But then on the back of that, come ask us for our votes. Now, we such slaves in America. We gave votes.
Come, Salakia.
That's right. That's right, sir.
Salakia, sir. Salakia, sir. If I could.
Go ahead, Al.
Can I pull a scripture, sir, on what General Young just said, sir?
Please.
This is 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 14. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. What General Young was saying, which is so heavy, is it ain't no marvel. Now that same Joe Biden that came out there in 1994, 95, calling us jungle bunnies, saying we can't be rehabilitated, had the audacity to go on national TV and go into these churches and be like, well, if you got a problem between me and Trump, then you ain't black. Like, who the hell is Joe Biden that's questioning us on our blackness when the reason why our fathers, our mothers, and grandparents are in jail right now is because of you? He locked up more blacks and Latinos than any other politician outside of Kamala Harris. So when it says, no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light, that's Joe Biden. And if I could, so read verse 15. It says, therefore, it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed into the ministers of righteousness. Now, who are the ministers of righteousness, as you taught us, sir? That's your Christian pastor. That's Creflo Dollar. That's T.D. Snake, Salakia, T.D. Jakes. You know what I mean? What's the other? Geno Jennings with the bald head. That's who they are.
Mark Burns.
Mark Burns.
Oh, man.
That's it, sir.
Listen, you right. You so right. You know what I mean? Give me that story about that preacher that claimed he had got robbed.
Right.
I'm holding it right now.
You want to talk about a straight up gangster? You understand?
That's right.
You want to talk about a straight up gangster, a mobster? You understand? That nigga, this is Frank Lucas. This devil. I'm talking to a card about this here. A card like, General, you talking about a preacher or Frank Lucas? Like, this cat is a full out, straight up gangster. You understand? Go and read the story. Gangster.
Plumber discovers money checks in wall of Joel Osteen's Lakewood church years after $600,000 burglary.
After $600,000 burglary. So in other words, he turned around and said that somebody broke in the church and stole $600,000. And the plumber found it. The plumber found, he must have cracked that wall open out and got hit with them bundles and was shocked out of his mind. Read some more.
The 500 envelopes full of cash and checks were found behind a loose toilet after workers moved insulation out of the wall.
Dang. He had it behind a loose toilet. 500 envelopes full of cash. This is Nicky Bonds. This is gangster extraordinaire right here.
Right. Colonel McCunn. A plumber says he found a large amount of money in a wall while he was doing work at the church on November 10th, 2021. Evidence from the recovered check suggests this November case is connected to the March 9th, 2014 theft report of undisclosed amounts of money at the church. Houston police confirmed Friday.
He in there money laundering, man.
Colonel
They probably got counting machines in the back. The car, he probably friends with the cartel. Real gangster, man. Put his picture up, that bastard.
That's why them churches be running all them businesses, man, buying strip malls and you know having connections to strip malls just to clean all that money.
Yep. And I also see why he didn't let nobody inside the church during the hurricane.
They done stole his money.
He didn't want nobody to go in that bathroom and crack that wall open.
Right.
And find all the money. Could you imagine the hurricane? He ain't got his people down there, the church open, people sleeping on cots, and somebody knocked the toilet over and all that cash come piling out the goddamn wall.
God.
What a real damn gangster. What a real bastard. And once again, put his picture up, Marah. Show the world this evil bastard. This is who we love.
Mm-hmm.
You black women sitting up in these churches, you love this demon.
Yep.
He's sitting up there in Houston, beloved by you black women in them churches, man. A real thug. You want to know what a thug is? This is it.
That's right.
You looking for a thug? There you go.
Mm-hmm.
You looking for a gangster? There he go.
Mm-hmm.
You looking for the Antichrist? There he go. Look how full that church is. A real gangster. You black people, y'all reading his books. I see you black women. You on the train reading Joel Osteen's book. You going to church on Sunday. You reading his book. Going to, riding the trains and the buses. You in poverty and in hell. He burying 600,000. That's in one wall. The feds need to crack all the walls.
That's right.
They got about 5 or 6 of them churches. They got to go in there with that old machine and see through them walls.
Right.
It might be 10 million up in there, man.
God. 2014, he got a lot of stash places.
Yeah.
Man.
2000, right. That's what, 7 years? It's 7 years, bro. That's a completion. He been stacking that cash up in them damn walls, man. Christianity's a joke.
Right.
Sure.
It's a gangster move right there. Read a little more.
If I may, sir.
Yeah.
I think you coined the phrase money grubbing gangsters a long time ago, sir.
Those are correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why black people, Latino people, Native Indian, you might not like me, but you should come hear me. You should come listen to me. You should come be a part of the I.S.U.P.K.
Right.
You should come hear real prophets tell real stories. You understand? You should hear real prophets tell real stories about what's really going on in this earth. Not some fake ass gangster, man. You understand? And somebody just said they believe he's a woman. Let me tell you something. Whether that was Rod the God 84. Let me tell you something. What you saying is important in this respect. He's so effeminate that you don't even know if he is a woman. It's hard to tell and here's why. He probably is a man. But here's the thing. He's also a goddamn snake. And them snakes know that a woman likes an effeminate man when she's caught wrong. When she don't know better, she likes a man that's effeminate. They call him a gentleman because he's gentle. He's gay. That's what they want. That's why the sodomites in them churches have prospered. Because they hate a man so much that they want a man broken into the spirit of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a ton of them become lesbians and all that. Because really, they want to be the man and you be the woman. And so you get up and put on that suit and talk with that old effeminate voice that he talked and pretend like you are absolutely harmless to her power and authority and the demons that she got walking inside her, and she'll set you up and make you rich as hell. And many turned to do that. Them fake Israelites even did it. Set some cat up and put him in some funny ass English garments. Next thing you know, he running around talking like a woman, and before you know it, women flocking to him till the Lord dealt with him. I've seen that many times in these churches, man. Listen, I told you one time when we was real young, we sitting up in a church. One of the brothers that was a contractor was sitting up in this church looking at this church, and one of the deacons came out and was standing there talking to him, and the preacher came in and got on the organ and started playing the damn organ just out of nowhere, loud as hell. And the brother turned around and said, "Man, I can't believe you got him over you as the preacher." He said, "Let me tell you something, young brother, you don't know. You see that man there? I know he's feminine. I know he what he is, but he brings the women in." That's what he told the brother. He brings the women in. They know what bring them women in.
That's right.
And a lot of you black women, you make me sick. You make me sick when I see you gawking at them sodomites. You gawking at them, looking at them. Oh, look what he doing. Look what he doing. Laughing at them and all up in their face, laughing because they acting like a woman, pretending to be you. Never putting it in your mind how much destroyed that brother is and what happened to him to get him to that point and how unproductive he is to you and your people.
That's right.
You understand?
God.
Like you don't want to honor a masculine, strong man. You want to honor a feminine man. You want a man that's wounded like a dog. Then you'll have some mercy on him. Some. But you don't want a man that tells you that'll really fix your life. You better come listen to the prophets of God.
Damn right.
You better come listen to the word that GEN.YAHANNA got for you from the Lord.
Okay.
That's what the hell you better get ready to listen to. This is feminine. Slaki, go ahead, General.
No, sir. I was looking at the brother Awanya Allah. He said that Joel Osteen say he's not a pastor, he's a motivational speaker. But
damn,
that just means he a pimp.
That's all.
And pimps, that's what pastors are. They pimps.
That's right.
For the people. And you remember a pimp always tried to be pretty.
Yes, he did.
Specifically, it wasn't like I'm trying to be the most handsome thing with these clothes. They was always trying to be pretty.
Yes,
because pretty niggas, pretty men invite these women, like you said, General.
Yes, they do.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they do, and they know that women are attracted to the vanity side. So the vanity side is feminine. So a man that dress up like a woman and put on a ton of flashy, feminine clothing. That grabs her attention. That's why entertainers put on certain clothing to grab your attention. Well, that's the same thing that these cats do. And as a result, silly black women get caught up into it, man, and you get burned. You get burned so bad. You know how many black women are going with homosexuals right now in the church and know it? Know it, but got a whole family with this sodomite.
Right.
And for the sake of the church, don't want to, come out and reveal what's really going on and don't want to be alone. So accept him and his best friend, which is really his man.
Okay.
And then get caught up with AIDS or something else and die. Right. This ain't acceptable to the Lord. I don't care how much America want it, how much they want it, how wrong they call you. You got to stand with the Lord and not them. You got to take up this mantle we giving you in the I.S.U.P.K. Because they're going to die. You see them people in that crowd, they're going to all die by the hands of the Most High. Every last one of them going in the grave by the hands of the Most High. Okay? You're going to hear about it too. You're going to hear about the destruction of them churches, man. Watch. You're going to hear about it. We ain't got to do nothing. The Lord going to do it. Yep. It's just wicked as hell. So that's it. Old gangster thief. And imagine how many black preachers is doing it. Even some of you fake Israelites, you trying to follow suit behind one of those preachers. You're going to die too. Trying to be like one of them, man. You understand? You're going to die too. Unless you wake up and come up out of that, man.
That's right.
So we angered, so to go back to original, we angered the Most High by putting that Hamite over us. And we doubly anger him when the prophets are here. Like if you ain't coming to listen to me, but you going to put a Hamite over you, then you gonna really anger the Most High, because the Lord is looking at it like, it ain't like you ain't hear my prophets. I just sent them out there. God. We was in DC on the corner.
Yeah.
Week in, week out. You understand? And you didn't hear these words like you should have. But thanks be to the Lord, many brothers and sisters have heard these words.
That's right.
Many brothers and sisters heard these words, examined it for themselves, and got right. And got right. You see that? Mad as hell. Christian boy. Mad as hell. He's an Obama man. Where he at now?
Right.
Where he at now? He was mad because somebody came up against, a few of them was mad because somebody came up over about Obama. That cat in the front too. I think I had to get Muhammad out of there. Who was that standing in front of me? I had to get somebody the hell up out of there because they wanted to go off on the brothers. Look how mad they were. Look how mad as hell. That we saying something about you don't put that Hamite in office. Look at the security people. Everybody was mad out there on that street. They pacing, circling around like mad dogs. Circling around like mad dogs.
Gun in one gun. Can I read the scripture, sir?
Please.
Nehemiah 9:29. And testified against them that thou mightest bring them again unto thy law. Yet they dealt proudly and hearkened not unto thy commandments, but sinned against thy judgment, which if a man do, he shall live in them. And withdrew the shoulder and hardened their neck and would not hear.
Withdrew the shoulder, hardened their neck, and would not hear. And withdrew that shoulder, brother, from the plow, from the work, from building this nation, and would not hear. That's them. Look at them. Look, they all mad back there. Angry. What we did was right.
That's right.
And listen, and the proof is you ain't got a single program. And let me tell you something too. And Obamacare, the price of Obamacare going through the roof.
Yeah.
That Obamacare is strangling people to death with that Obamacare. The states had to come up with their own program to keep the cost down.
Right.
You got to put a man of God over you, man. The only one that's going to care about you is the Most High and the men of God. It's ridiculous, man.
Right, sir.
Come. It's
So
crazy.
Go ahead, Slavian.
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize, sir. Slavian,
No,
sir.
go ahead, General. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, it's crazy because that cat Farrakhan said he was the Messiah or the Savior or something. And when you go through the time here in office, he did literally nothing for us as a people.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing. Didn't pass no laws. Didn't do nothing to help us out. Any situation he ignored. I know he got a little too big on the news and he had to say a few words, but that was it.
Listen, and he didn't
help us.
And he didn't lead us.
No.
Like we put him over us to lead us, and he didn't lead us because he knew he wasn't us. Neither did he give a damn about us.
Right.
And we still got black pundits running up on CNN talking nonsense. And that's exactly what the brothers and sisters that were slaughtered in 64 AD was a direct result of Caiaphas, who in the Bible came up against Christ and Peter and Paul. Caiaphas was Christ's nemesis during his time. I mean, he chased down Peter and Paul for years and years and years. Damn near to the day they died, they was fighting him and those religious leaders, man. You understand? And them brothers had it right. And I have it right.
That's right.
My I.S.U.P.K is right.
Damn right, General.
You understand? And everybody should be joining this body and learning to not go listening to that foolishness, not being fooled by flashy talk. You galvanized. Let me tell you something. They galvanized 14. What year he ran? 2008. We in 2021. 13 years of wasted time.
Yeah. Right.
13 years of wasted time. Now you don't have no defense. All your men in jail. They on all the latest drugs. No education. I mean, I listen to some of these black people on YouTube and TikTok, brother, and they can't even talk English. They talk like the hillbillies up in the mountains, and they living right here in the city. I don't know what can't even command the English language. That's how uneducated they've made our people. That's how they systematically uneducated us in every single way.
That's right.
Where our people living in the middle of giant metropolitan cities and can't even talk English. Nope. Because of behind these black leaders, man. Oh, damn that, brother. We gonna fight for ours, and we gonna fix Black America, man. We gonna tell them the truth, man.
That's right.
Damn right.
Tell them the damn truth, man. Something you don't never want to hear, Black, Latino, and Native Indian. Y'all don't never want to hear the truth. You rather die than find out you one of the 12 lost tribes of the children of Israel.
Yeah, and it's so heavy, General. Like the spirit of what you bringing out is the same way we deal with anything, vaccines, medicine. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that's good for them, the stuff can help them. They scared of and reject. You know what I'm saying? They don't reject the disease. COVID killing us fine, but the vaccine, I don't know about that. You know, it hurt us. It might do something to us. You know what I'm saying? I heard stories of people and their family being depressed and doing different things, damn near suicidal. And then when you talk to them, it was like, my brother was suicidal, man, and trying to kill himself. I don't know what to do. Well, maybe you should get him evaluated, get some medicine on him. I don't know about the medicines, man. I don't know about them pills.
Right.
Why? That stuff say that it make you so depressed you want to kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? But he's about to kill himself now.
Right.
Right. Medicine hurt.
Right.
It's like it's just like medicine or a vaccine. It's like it can help you. You know what I mean? Sometimes medicine don't taste wonderful. It don't taste like a fruit juice. You know what I'm saying? But it do fix you. You know what I'm saying? So swallow, they say. You know what I'm saying? But get it down, swallow it, man, and you'll start to get better and stronger. Because, like you said, everybody is getting stronger than us, General. The South is raising up again. Homos then got stronger after Barack Obama.
Yeah.
And every population then got stronger after Barack Obama, except us.
Except the Black man, Latino man, Native Indian man. You on the bottom.
Yeah.
And once again, sir, this fall at the hands of our so-called leaders, man. Spiritual leaders. The Lord said that they like foxes and that they slick. And that they are not going to prepare the children of Israel, Blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians, for the day of the battle. We in a battle right now. We in that day. And our people are lacking behind in every aspect of the battle because of these spiritual leaders, so-called. Right. That's what's going on.
Right.
You better run to this truth. You hear I.S.U.P.K, Commander GEN.YAHANNA, you better run to his voice. This is the only way you'll get salvation from what's going on out here. The Bible said the Lord called us to this truth. And when we come in here, we're going to be safe and be all right. But outside is death. And why are you prepared? Once again, because your so-called spiritual leaders have not prepared you for the battle. Instead, they sung, they continue to dance, continue to sing, jump up and down, thinking that's the spirit of the Lord while we are dying in a land called America, spiritually and physically.
Like you don't have the prophets of God telling you the truth. And that's how you fall.
Yes, sir.
Imagine that, what a debacle putting that Hamite over us. And listen, and now ain't no turning back. You gonna deal with the Edomites now.
Yeah.
You talking all that integration BS. Well, you better get ready because they galvanizing like crazy. Like Donald Trump is still as popular as he was when he was president.
Oh yeah.
And that's unheard of in the history of America. I don't know if there's ever been a time that a president left office and then went back and ran after being out of office for 4 years. If it has happened, it was rare, if at all. But Donald Trump got full command of the Republican Party, brother. They fear him. They know you can't get elected as a Republican unless you bigging up Donald Trump's program. He come out and say something against you, you done. Them Republicans didn't vote to stop, that didn't try to stop Mike Pence, he spoke one word against them, brother, and they lost all their primaries. Them Edomites is, once again, I told everybody this. Those Edomites Donald Trump unified those Edomites with the most powerful tool you could ever unify them Edomites with, and that's the hatred of us. Like, all he had to do to win that election was to say, we want to see Obama's birth certificate, which was strategic. He said that while Obama was still in office, and that dumb Hamite went and actually published his daggone birth certificate like a dummy. Like a dummy, he published his daggone birth certificate like that was going to change something. And Donald Trump got in there and didn't even publish his damn tax returns. Meanwhile, this cat came and pulled out his birth certificate like you do a nigga in a bus stop.
That's right.
They made him pull out his birth certificate, man. Like you stop a nigga in the what is it? The TSA. You understand? He made him pull out his ID. He ID'd that nigga, that Hamite. Excuse me. He ID'd that Hamite, and he knew what the hell he was doing. He was showing white America this Hamite ain't one of us. He knew he was an American citizen. He didn't give a damn about that. And now he's talking about take our country back. He's more popular now than ever before. They don't give a damn what he say. They believe it. Went and stormed the whole damn Capitol. And listen, and they standing on the fact that they stormed the Capitol. They ain't going to Congress. They ain't answering nothing they say. None of that. Meanwhile, we could have put a brother in office, brother, right now that could have passed all kinds of laws to protect the slaves. Instead, you stupid Christians, man. I ain't gonna stay on this no longer. We've been on this for a minute. Any more to that story?
Lies, sir. That was it, sir.
With little Joel, thief and gangster. What's that other big story you hold? You hold another big story, correct?
Go
ahead. Let's do that one.
Santa Claus gets a boyfriend in new Christmas commercial.
Yeah. You kidding me? Do we have that commercial?
You got a commercial, Mariah?
Now, all you Christians that loved Santa, now Santa done got rid of Mrs. Claus. He done traded Mrs. Claus in.
One of the elves, Jenna.
That's what I was thinking.
Got rid of Miss Claus and came out Miss Claus.
God damn, they some disgusting damn things. And he looked like a serial killer.
Come.
I'm gonna fast forward it, sir, to the
And now they didn't got so strong in this sodomy, general, that it ain't even American unless it got somebody with a boyfriend, some man with a boyfriend, some woman with a girlfriend.
Right.
So it ain't even a good American movie.
Damn. You gonna violate Santa. You can stop it there, Mariah. Don't you put that sodomy up on there.
Well, Santa.
They can go watch that themselves.
I'm about to give you a nice toy.
Like you ain't bringing Santa no milk and cookies no more, huh? Like, this is an abomination, brother. And once again, that's what you get. That's what you get from putting up a Christmas tree in your church, knowing that the scriptures say never to put that tree up and worship that holiday, man. That was a Babylonian holiday about slaughtering us, about their king that killed us, man. Abraham, the Lord had to remove Abraham from over there. That's how vile and disgusting it was over there. And you celebrating him, and well, guess what? Now they didn't give you the now they gave you just what he want. Next he'll be doing Rudolph. Give him a little time. He gonna rock that red nose off. Give him a little time. Rudolph gonna get violated. Mariah, you better take that off my screen, man.
Soon one of Frosty's kids gonna have a boyfriend.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Claus done got ran out the game, man. Damn. What kind of madness is this? Say again?
They don't think about the women. You know what I'm saying? The women who ain't got no man, who now done lost their man, who done got some disease from their man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly.
Forget about Miss Claus and all this.
So. Exactly. And this is the agenda. This is what they want to push on us. And once again, without no pushback, without no brothers, and this is sad. Brothers are supposed to be hearing us and pushing back on that evil. Instead, you let them run that evil as much as they want, which is ridiculous, man. You understand? Which is insane. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was super evil, General. Like now, you know, they done really made this lifestyle to be like normal as waking up in the daytime. Like this now is just like normal now. So now when your kids go sit on this man's lap to ask for a toy, you know what I mean? It ain't strange that this same man whose lap you sitting on might like your boy.
Exactly.
Behind or something as he's sitting there getting up or whatever.
Exactly.
Like, for that to happen, man. Right. That's what they pushing on us as a people.
Exactly. And why would you?
If you speak against them, you won't get in trouble. They ready to put you in jail or label you for talking against it. When it's so evil to be doing this here, man. Like we in them last days and times. So like how you been saying, we in them days. Like we in them real good and heavy and thick now.
Yeah.
You really got to lean on your ancestors and His truth and what the Lord gave us and fight this demon and this spirit out here to get you to turn and be like them. Because they for sure put it everywhere. Every TV show commercial got something like this going on, General.
Right.
Damn right.
Everyone now. You look on TV, turn TV on. I don't know. I'm turning off. Forget it. I'm turning on jazz or something. Because every one of them got the same theme pushing across the airwaves, sir.
Right. And let me tell you, why would you hate your children? Oh, Salaka, go ahead.
Oh no, I go ahead, General.
No, did I cut it on you? I didn't mean to cut it on you.
I was just gonna say, Salaka, just to piggyback what Haas is saying, some good shows, some good TV shows that you be watching for a while. Now the new season, everybody got a boyfriend or girl, sodomites on there, a lesbian, and make you not even watch it. And if I could say, the other day, General, Satan got me. It was okay. The TV was on, and I'm doing something. I leave out the room, come back a little while later. TV still on. Another program that came on, and I hear them talking on the TV. I forget what I was doing. Then somebody said a funny joke. I know it sounded like a man. He told some joke or said something slick that was funny, and I laughed out loud. And I turned to the TV, and it's a TV full of damn men in what they call it, in drag.
Damn.
It was some old fool. The whole show was about it. It was everybody was in drag, full of makeup, men sitting there at some bar talking like it was normal as hell. I said, "What the is going on?"
They're gonna destroy the Lord's children, and I bet you a bunch of them was black, weren't they?
A lot of them look and Hispanic. A lot of brown brothers and sisters be going there too. But Esau be leading the pack. I was offended that I laughed. You know, so sorry.
Come. And why would you hate your children so much? Go ahead, Desire. When you was gonna say something?
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing. So I was just agreeing with the general.
Okay, I was gonna say, and why would you hate your children so much to teach them such a lie? You understand? Why would you hate them so much to teach them such a lie? You know what I mean? I'm a better father than you are. You're gonna teach your children, or a better mother than you are. You're gonna teach your children to believe some Edomite is the one that's giving them these toys, and that you should obey this Edomite. And this Edomite, first of all, Santa Claus, the real brother, was a black man. Okay, that ran a church up in Russia. Marab, give me that footage of me throwing that Santa on the ground. If you got the image, I don't know if you have the image of the real brother that they took the story of Kris Kringle from. They stole that story from a black man that ran an orphanage for children, and he went around giving children gifts back in the 1700s, man. He was way up in Russia, lived up in the northern side of Russia. That's why they got Santa Claus with the big winter coat, that big red coat with that fur around his neck. All that comes from this brother who was running a church, and in his church he had an orphanage, and that orphanage is what he would take care of the children. They stole the damn story and made $1 billion off of it, twisted it around, and set up the Babylonian worship and a whole damn lie. And you go and tell your children that lie, and then you wonder what the hell happens to them when they grow up. You wonder why that Edomite shot up that damn school. Because he was believing in Santa Claus till he didn't. And when he didn't, then it was a problem, man. You know what I mean? Then he wasn't. You should come hear from us. You should come learn from the UPK.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you should. And then on top of it, so wicked. You're right. St. Nicholas, West Philly for life, 1992. Like you right. St. Nicholas. He was a real man. A brother that cared about them. And listen, and that's a better story than damn Santa Claus. That's a way better story than damn Santa Claus. Was the real story of what St. Nicholas actually did. What he actually did, you understand, for poor children. Instead, we believe it in this garbage that they created and giving them the credit. And once again, it's more brainwashing, man, and more propaganda to make you believe in them. And instead of Yahawashi, you understand?
That's right.
Instead of our king. That's why I started throwing him down years ago. Years ago, I used to throw him down on the damn ground for that very reason. Hell with them, man, in that holiday. It's demonic anyway, all in the scriptures in Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. You know what I mean? And it's such a money maker for them. That's why Kamala Harris said, get your gifts early. That's what's going on in China. Get your gifts early. They want to make sure that they boost that economy. I heard a lot of businesses make the majority of their money during Christmas.
Cut it to one cut.
Right, sir. Kind of
It's a big day. You know, growing up, right? And my parents was in the world, they ain't know no better. I remember that growing up, I got to be about maybe 12 or 13. So they made us go to bed on Christmas Eve early. So I'm like, all right. I said, all right. I said, I got him. I'm going to stay my behind up. So I stayed up, acting like I was asleep. And they turned the circle light on. You can see shadows. And I see my pop running up and down the steps with bags in his hand. Like he up and down the steps. I said, the hell is he doing? I said, he got all them damn gifts. That's what he's doing. I said, damn Santa Claus, my pop with all them damn gifts. That's when I realized that, this is garbage, man. Like my parents is the gift givers. Not no Edomite man in a red suit. My pop doing, my mom doing all this, man.
Right.
It was one thing that made in my mind, like, okay, this is not right. I remember that feeling growing up, like, okay, this is wrong. Why are you gonna lie to us about it? Just tell me the truth. I know you got it for me. You know what I mean? Just say you got it.
That's right.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut him off. Go ahead.
No, I'm done. So you cut off. So you speak.
And I was gonna say, and it's idol worship.
Yeah.
You Christians always talking about idol worship. Meanwhile, you sitting up there bringing this Edomite image into your churches, and it's clearly a Babylonian holiday that was commandeered and used in the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church is the church that took every pagan holiday and ritual and turned it into a Christian ritual. Like the Roman Catholic Church truly expounded on the mark of the beast. Like the Roman Catholic Church took every pagan god, every pagan story, every pagan holiday, and turned every last one of them into a Christian story, including Christmas. And you sitting up there trying to claim to be a man of God, and you sitting up there with the Bible, claiming to be a man of God, and you ain't even revealed this. You ain't even stopped this from coming forth. That's why I dedicated my life to doing it.
That's right.
That's why you can see me on that damn right. Most High in Christ. That's why you can see me on that street with it. You understand? On that street, getting it in back in the day.
Yes, sir.
With that book and pushing that statue, man. because that statue needed to be revealed. You should have seen black people when we would throw that statue down or put a noose on their neck. They would gasp, grown ass men gasping. Grown ass men. Big strapping warrior man. You see Santa get thrown on the ground, you gasping. Like you don't understand. You can't believe that Santa got thrown to the ground. And we used to hang him too. We used to have a noose on him and hang him in full ritualistic death. To hang that bastard, man.
We used to put the flyers out a week ahead.
Yes, yep. It was an event when we used to do that, John. We had the big boy one too back then.
General, I want to remind you of something we did, General, under your orders.
What's that?
I mean, when Captain Markov built the guillotine we had for him.
Yes, I do remember that too.
For him, say guilty, hit the guillotine, and he been hanging.
That's right.
When we first did it, they had a fit in downtown.
They lost it.
They lost their mind over that there.
That's right. And here's what we don't understand, if I might. We don't understand that the connection between these gods and this worship and these churches, that connection is what's severing us from the Most High.
Yes, sir.
That connection is what's making us make bad decisions as a nation in captivity under another nation. I just read where Einstein said that integration always built anti-Semitism. You try to integrate with a host country and you're gonna make them hate you.
That's right.
They ain't gonna love you. That's why black people fighting in Congress and the Senate right now, trying to get the host country to love them. 400 years. And white supremacists marching through the streets, killing people in churches, man. On the police force, murdering brothers, man. You trying to force them, idiots like John Lewis and others, saying to integrate. When Einstein, one of the smartest Edomites, said we ain't to never integrate, man. Going to lead to anti-Semitism, which is going to make them hate us and kill us.
That's right, sir.
And then he said that anti-Semitism is what kept their race alive. So in other words, if their race had integrated, they would be wiped out. But because they didn't integrate, they didn't get wiped out. Meanwhile, you fighting tooth and nail with your preacher to integrate. And then you wonder why black people are wiped out, Latinos, Native Indians. You doing exactly what the scholars and the geniuses of their people didn't do. They didn't integrate. They didn't say, let's go back and live in Germany with the Nazis and we'll help reform the Nazis. They knew that there would be nothing left of them. And when without Yahawashi, there'd be nothing left of you. Talking about our people, blacks, Latinos, and Natives, there'd be nothing left of you.
Man, right,
you understand? Brother came to me the other day, said, yeah, man, I heard that they getting ready to go to the moon. They getting ready to go to the other planets. They talking about sending civilians up there. I said, yeah, they're going to have Mexicans up there mining gold and silver on some goddamn asteroid if they find the technology to do it. You understand?
If I can't,
bastards. Go ahead.
They say Jewish people, they say Amalek, he's so against not assimilating and being separate. He don't even buy German cars.
Listen, that is true.
They don't even buy Audis and different German cars.
No, let me tell you, if I could, I don't mean to cut you off. That's what led to the rise of Lexus and Infinity. What is it? Infinity, right?
Infinity's cut. I know Lexus is one. Cut.
Toyota. No, Lexus. I'm sorry.
Lexus is
right.
a Toyota.
Yeah, right. Like what Toyota and Honda realized is that they didn't have a high-end car that the so-called Jew could buy that could match the German imports, because in America, the German imports was popular, but the so-called Jew would not buy the imports. So it was like he was stuck outside of the luxury unless he could buy himself a Rolls Royce. So what did Lexus and Honda do? They said, what did Toyota and Honda do? They said, we'll come out with a new company with a high-end version of our vehicles. And that's what they did. They came out with a high-end version of their vehicles, which is how you got Lexus and Infinity. Is it Infinity? Okay. How you get Lexus and Infinity. You got them cars and they high-end cars. And the so-called Jew and the Asians bought them up by the millions. That's how you got that, because they would not, like you said, General, would not drive that vehicle, man. Would not drive that vehicle. You understand?
God.
Black people supposed to never get on a bus. We supposed to have buses all over this country. The day we boycotted that bus in the 60s to now, we supposed to have buses all over this country.
Right.
You understand? We supposed to have the industry of buses at this point. After what happened in the Rosa Parks and all that, it's supposed to be like you come to America, you get on a bus, it's a black man own the bus company.
Right.
It's black people, it's black. We'd have had our own industry. Instead, the heathens come in and they set up all the industries they want. Them Arabs came over and took over the whole cab industry from black men. And the so-called Jew that owned all the medallions was happy to give it to them. Push them right on out. You cannot integrate with these people.
Right.
You must serve the Most High. They must respect you for you to live side by side. Don't nobody respect you. If somebody don't respect you, they're not going to let you live side by side with them.
Nope. That's right.
And you keep making stupid mistakes by these churches, and it's why they don't respect you, man.
God.
You can't stand up to them because the Lord ain't with you.
Right.
And he ain't with you because you don't obey him and come to the ISUPK like the hell you supposed to.
That's right. And if I can, General, I read a story where it was this black bus company in South Carolina. And then they said they wasn't the only black bus company either. And they had a 500 bus company, ran by black people. But they said the people started to complain and say, we want to get on the white buses. We want to get on buses like the white buses. And the owners of the company, these brothers that came together, they said, well, we don't have no white buses. We a black company.
Right.
They better go get some buses like the white people. You know what I'm saying? It's like because of Christianity, that damn poison in us, make us gotta sit in the seat that Esau sit in, our oppressor sit in. And we ain't happy if he don't respect the seat we sit in, then we want to go sit in his seat.
Right.
Yes.
Instead of prospering on our own.
Right.
I don't know how the hell we fought to drink out of fountains that he drink out of and sit on the toilets that he sit on.
Yes.
But we fought for it.
So,
You understand? And that's because all you rich preachers wanted a seat at his table.
Right.
You didn't want to go do what the Lord said and raise the Lord's 12 tribes up. Instead, you wanted a seat at his table. And you was willing to throw us under the bus. Damn near literally throw us under the bus just to have a seat at his table. You understand? And now you got a seat at his table and look at you like a begging rat.
Right.
Damn right,
Like a begging rat at his table while the people that you were supposed to be responsible for are destroyed in every ghetto in America, man. Murdered and incarcerated and doped up like never before because of your insolence of the Lord's word, man.
And like you brought out earlier, the worst thing is their lack of respect for us.
Yes.
And like we just a bunch of begging, stupid people who going to love them no matter what they do.
Right. Yes.
So even though they tell us no, we ain't gonna pass your law, or just tell us, we'll do it. We'll have a conversation about it. Okay, maybe it's time to have a talk about it. And never had that talk. We still gonna fight to love them. They know that about us, which is a lack of respect.
Exactly.
Chinese hate Americans. And Americans hate Chinese, but they respect the hell out of each other. You know what I'm saying? And do business and get money. You know, Chinese people don't vote. They didn't vote for Barack Obama or Joe Biden or Donald Trump. They getting that money though, like they supposed to.
That's true. That's so true. That's so true.
Oh, Salakia.
Salakia desire won't go ahead.
No, if I may, sir, with General Mayak bringing out is so heavy because they don't vote and they're the #1 leading minority group in America today. You know what I'm saying? Because they understand that integration, like what's his name, Albert Einstein. Right. That's what they understand. You know what I mean? And they don't play America's game. It's like I was reading this book by Gunnar Myrdal, and he said ideologically, black people move whatever way that they're swayed by white people. So if the liberals, if the liberals have us in their hands, then we're we're into integration, we're integrationalists, and we're assimilalists. But if the conservatives have us in their hand, then we want to be separatists. You know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? Like whoever has us in their hands, that sways our mind. So it's like we just like children who just move, by the way, whatever we just react to whatever way white people
like we the prize, Desire. Whoever
Yeah.
wins the war, we just the prize.
Yep, that's right.
If the Arabs win the war, we'd be speaking Arabic.
That's right.
Been Allah, what I'm saying? Or if the Chinese win, we'd be looking at Buddha, with some
exactly.
It's just we the prize, man.
Concert.
Oh
yeah.
man.
Listen, y'all right. Y'all so right. You know what I mean?
And Jenna, like how you brought out earlier about Caiaphas, the same spirit that he had then, worrying about his place. He said in the Bible, in specific, that we can't let Christ go on because the Romans gonna come take our place, meaning his position, his place of power that the Romans gave him. That mattered to him more than his own people.
Yes.
The same going on today with our people who call themselves your political leader, your spiritual leader. They don't really care about you or your plight. Right. They care about the seat they sit in.
Yeah.
And the power they got from their master means more than you. Which is why in the ghetto, you see all these nations thriving in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we're not thriving.
Exactly.
Because they'd rather respect the man giving the money than respect their own brothers and sisters for filthy lucre.
And if I could, you can't go to no other country and prosper off of the people in that country without giving them something back.
Yeah.
You can't do it nowhere else in the world. Joe Biden just backed up off of China because they said we do so much business with China that they just recognize that they just can't bully China. They can't bully China because China will pull back on the goods they selling. Yeah. And they know it. But don't nobody have to respect us. They just come to the hood and suck it dry and fill it with all they gods, with the Arab gods, with the Edomite gods, with the Asian gods, with the African gods. Every god is in the hood. And meanwhile, the hood is dying on the vine. That's what the Christ meant when he said the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence and the violent take it by force. Like it's violence on you to worship the gods of these other nations when these gods ain't did a damn thing for you.
Yes, sir.
They didn't deliver us out of Egypt. They didn't deliver us from the Greeks. They didn't deliver us from the Romans. They didn't do none of them things, man. But the God of Israel did, and you had better obey him, and you better learn what the I.S.U.P.K is really about.
Damn right, Damn right, Hey, sir, I got it. Can I say one thing?
Yeah.
I remember when you gave us the order to head up into Times Square and go teach this truth, and we did it. And never forget coming back from Times Square, the path we took to drop off a brother who lived in that area. We went past a place they call it Bollywood. And when I first saw it, it was kind of amazing to me. I said, wow, this is crazy. Them Elamites had their own neighborhood. They had their own line of restaurants, and they partied. When they partied, all you saw was East Indians, Elamites. A 2, 3, 4 block radius of them. Restaurants lit up. They go on to eat different restaurants, partying among, but it was them and their community. You understand what I'm saying? And each time we passed it, it amazed me that they over here in this land, but they still separate from everybody else.
Listen, and Hans, if
yes, sir.
So like, I mean, cut you off. But what I want to just say is, and they got their own industry. They own the IT industry in America.
Right.
They send their kids to school from young. They kids already know. You understand? From grade school, their kids is going to school with laptops because they all know that eventually they're going to be in IT. Go on YouTube. They got a ton of little technology. They practice on YouTube how to explain technology because they know when they get grown and get into their industry, they're going to have to know how to explain the damn technology. So they turn around and doing it from very, very young. You understand? They got their own industry. You think that's something, Haas? You should see up in northern New Jersey. They got whole cities up there. I mean, just not a strip. I'm talking whole cities of these different heathens that run these parts of these states. And you would never even know it because they ain't even mixed among us. Once again, they ain't trying to integrate. They trying to push and promote their identity.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what the hell we're supposed to be doing. That's why I was on them streets so many years begging brothers and sisters to wake up, to take back on our culture, to push our culture out. Instead of us trying to take on every god that's in this earth and follow every god that's walking on this earth. It's ridiculous, man. What you saying is true. They got whole section and they ain't trying to integrate with you. The East Indians woman ain't trying to come marry you.
Nope.
The East Indian man ain't trying to come marry you. He'll sleep with you, but he ain't marrying you. You understand?
And most times when they sleeping with you, it's the rebellious drug addict ones.
Yeah,
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Exactly.
I knew a guy that was dealing with this handmaid sister, handmaid, right? And he used to brag about how he was, giving her the business, right? And I said, "You so simple, man. You giving her the business, right? But she still letting you know that you ain't part of it." What you mean? They had an African festival each year in New York, and she would not let him go to that festival with her. And her reason was because her family wouldn't accept him, and he would have a problem being there. So are you giving her the business or what? You really fooling yourself, man. Because they ain't really trying. Like you, and this is what I don't understand about black men, Hispanic Native Indians. You think you doing something with these other nations. You are their sex toy. You understand?
Right.
You acting like you doing something to them. They playing you. Like you the fool. You the sex toy. Because they'll go ahead and have sex with you and have all the nasty fun in the world, but it'll stop right there. They won't take it no further with you. Because they know their family won't accept you. You're just a toy to them. And that's the problem. The mindset you got in this land called America, think you are integrated with everybody. Well, nobody really want to be integrated with you. They use you for what you got.
And if I could, Haas, all of them are eating from your people.
Yes, sir.
That's the amazing part. You know how much East Indian scams is going on in Medicaid and Medicare? They talking about Medicare fraud, but blaming black people for Medicare fraud. When they need to go in there and check them East Indian doctors. You want to know how all that Oxycontin is getting on the street? You better go talk to East Indian doctors, man. You better talk to Punjab up there, brother, doling out that stuff out the back of his trunk out in pillow bags.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In pillow bags. DEA can't even catch up to him because he don't even know which one it is. That's what the hell is going on, man. And that's why we got to wake up. You die. What you got? You got one more big one for me? Give me something good.
And if I can, General, just real quick before we jump off, going back to Santa Claus, I want to see how many of you, like you said, General, I want to see how many people hate their kids this year and sit them on the lap of Santa Claus with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
I want to see sit their sons on Santa Claus's lap with the boyfriend. I want to see how much
and how many of us are a slave to our children that we fear not having Christmas. We scared to not give the children Christmas because we think it's damn near child abuse. We think it's child abuse not to get a kid Christmas. You understand? When it's such a valuable lesson that your child could learn from you if he did learn how much of a lie Christmas was, and instead learn to appreciate what you do for him. That's right. You understand? And once again, that's why all our holidays, all of them, Hanukkah was beautiful, man. Big shout out also to GEN.YAHANNA and his people down there, you understand, in Florida, man. The hospitality was absolutely amazing. I want to thank y'all also, man, for the wonderful drinks and everything that you did for us down there. It was absolutely amazing. The barbecue, the brotherhood, the sisterhood. It was beautiful. And Passover is going to be smoking out there. You understand? It's going to be a showstopper out there in that zone. I just wanted to throw that in. But to say, you know what I mean, for you to turn around and not care enough about your children to say that, I'm not going to lie to y'all, this is what it really is. And it's your mom and dad whom you should love. Like, we got a long road to go, but we got it with the scriptures. Right. And if you sit up there still believing these lies and being caught up, like y'all brought out earlier, you're gonna turn around and get caught up into whatever it is they lay down to us. You know, in the last 13 years, they have effectively promoted the alternative lifestyle and pushed it into the black community, man. Forced it into the black community. That's why it was called In the Closet, because the black community, Latino community did not accept it. Yeah. But they spent billions and pushed it into the forefront and now forcing it to be accepted, man, and acting like it. And it's even more shameful because here's what they're using to do it. They're using the civil rights movement to do it. They saying that they saying that this your sexual orientation now has a civil right and cannot be discriminated against the way we was discriminated against for hundreds of years in the slave pits. All of our slavery that we went through just got thrown to the side because some man wants to sleep with another man. He got to have the same rights and respect that your grandmother and grandfathers died over. They died over you getting free, and this man's sexual orientation has to now be tied to that long haul fight that you had. Right. It was better we didn't integrate. It was better we didn't make that history. It was better if America all these years saw us separate from them and doing our own thing in America. And don't tell me that America would have had a problem with that, because the East Indians do it, the Orientals do it, the Arabs do it, even foreign Edomites do it. The Russians go down to Brighton Beach, New York. All the Russians is down there. They ain't mixing with everybody. Every nation on this earth stays. Even the Orientals don't mix with each other. Filipinos ain't mixing with the Chinese. The Chinese ain't mixing with the Japanese. Ain't none of them mixing up in there. But got you in your dumb, stupid Christian mind thinking that it's the plan and the program, that if everybody could just love one another and think of us all as the same people, then we would be fine. Then then America would be great and prosperous. It would spread across the world, and we would all be one. You big, dumb, stupid idiot. That's not reality. Reality is all nations fight to stand with their own, except for you. And that's why everybody's eating you, man. That's right. Let's get that. I'll say something, General, before he pulled that last story. Go ahead, Maya.
Sly, I don't mean to keep stopping.
No, do it. General.
I know you reminded me, General, with talking about, how even the homosexuals and they walking all over black people, civil rights and all that, using it to get even above us. Like we don't even get more benefits from it than they do. And
yes.
2 points from that. One, okay, Slocky, 1 point really. I saw this cat talking about the transgender. Well, 2 points. It's teachers that's getting fired and in trouble because they saying, I can't, I'm not gonna call my student. If I have a male student, I'm gonna call him by his male name because he wanted me to call him Tina. I can't do that. I got to call his birth certificate says this, his name says this. I'm gonna call him this, even though he's saying, well, I want to be Tina, and they getting in trouble for that. One, right? And two, I heard this Edomite, check these people who was fighting for the right for transgenders. For everybody got to pretend, even if it's a man in front of them and they know it, they got to pretend that it's a woman. And one woman stood up and said, I don't understand. How can you be against that? If he wants to be a Tina, let him be Tina. If she wants to be Chuck and Charles, let her be Chuck and Charles. And the guy said, well, why? That's just not reality. He said, how old are you? And the woman said, I'm 32. He said, why aren't you 96? She said, what do you mean? He said, and the crowd went crazy because he just made his point. You know what I'm saying? She's not 96 because she's 32. Exactly. And that's just the facts of it.
Right. You ain't a woman because you a man.
Yes.
Dummy. You understand? You trying to be something that exactly, General. I didn't mean to cut in on you, General. What you saying is exactly right. And here's once again, here's what dumb, stupid black Christian leaders have no clue of. Here's what they dumbass don't understand. What they don't understand is this, that what is happening with the trans, whatever this crap is, this alternative lifestyle, what they are in essence doing is causing a divide in the black and Latino community. After a while, that the black and Latino community that takes on the alternative lifestyles will be accepted with the other nations. And those of you that do not, those of you that stick with the scriptures and the Lord, you are going to be the outcast. You're going to be the ones that they can hate. They damn near are saying to Black and Latino and Native Indian America, you can be accepted with us heathens over here if you give up all of your manhood and you now become a woman. You can now come over. We will protect you. We're passing laws to protect you. You're going to be able to live your lifestyle. Anybody mess with you, it's going to be a hate crime. We love you, like Michelle Obama said. We love you. We this and who they, and if they love them and feel like they got to fight for them, who do they have to repel? Straight men. If you're gonna fight for transgender and say they need to be protected and they need to be fought for, who they need to be protected from? The straight men who say it's wrong to be that way. Which means what? You've divided the Black and Latino community. And now you protecting one side and hating the other side. This is an abomination before the Most High power. That's what the hell this is. And that's exactly what it's going to transform into. Just tell me that last story, see if we can squeeze it in.
Colonel McCon, sir, investigators reveal concerns about behavior of Michigan high school shooting suspect leading up to the tragedy.
You're right. That Edomite went up in there, brother, a sociopath, and murdered up that school. And let me tell you something. They trying to bring charges on them parents, but them Edomites have been gearing up for this spirit. They've been there. That's why they bought him a gun for Christmas. You know what I mean? They graced him with a Christmas gift, a gun. Like them Edomites gearing up for their white supremacy role. And they buying up guns and bullets, and they bought him one, even though he was a damn sociopath.
Yeah. Same with that boy that just got not guilty, General. His mother bought him that AR-15.
Exactly.
No,
like they parents buying them weapons while you, of course, in the church, dumb like a box of rocks, telling you turning in your guns voluntarily. You turn in your gun like you've been under this country 400 years. They done murdered, slaughtered, raped, robbed, did every horrible act they could ever do to you. And the first thing you want to do is, let's get rid of the guns. That same clown, that Van Jones that worked for Obama, this fool is one of the main ones pushing the gun program to get it out of the hands of Black kids. Oh, they killing each other. They not killing each other because they got guns. They killing each other because they ain't been educated. They killing each other because you pouring drugs in their neighborhood. They killing each other because their cities are overcrowded. They killing each other because you got no jobs for them. They killing each other because you creating white supremacists. They're separating them into gangs. That's why they're getting guns and killing each other, you big dummy. It got nothing to do with the gun itself. You understand? It has to do with what's being done to them. But of course, you can't address that. Why? Because if you address that, you'd have to address the monster that's ruling over them. You'd have to check the monster and tell the monster, the Edomites, that they have to stop killing your sons. And since you can't do that, you have to blame the gun and the culture and America's gun culture. And you're a fool, and it's an idiot's idea. Because if you think, listen, they told these Edomites, listen, you have to admire this right here. They told these Edomites that they have to put a mask on because they want to save them from a pandemic, and them Edomites stormed the Capitol. Like they told them to put a mask on. You gonna tell them to get rid of their guns? You big dumb. Like, why would you on CNN? Why would you be such an idiot? Why would you be such a idiot to be on CNN trying to convince some fool that he should give up his guns when you will never get them guns from the Edomites? You hear me? You will never. If every white person got to have their gun illegally in America, you can best believe they're going to be nothing but illegal guns in America, and you're not going to collect them all. You understand? There are millions and millions of these guns in America, and they don't give a damn. They making them. I told you they got what do they call that machine? That 3D printer. They making guns on a 3D goddamn printer, man. You understand? You done made the guns plastic thinking you was going to sell more because they lightweight. They went into the damn basement with a 3D printer and start printing the same gun you was making. And you think you're going to get rid of these Edomites' guns? You think them knowing their history, knowing who they murdered and killed and enslaved and fought, knowing they fought the British, knowing they enslaved us, knowing they slaughtered the North American Indians, and you could think that they're going to now turn around and hand their guns over because stupid ass Van Jones tell them that they should hand their guns over to stop the mass shootings? You're out of your dumb, stupid mind, and you wasting time. You wasting time as we get closer to the end when these brothers and sisters' lives need to be delivered out from under this mess, man. Go ahead, you die. I don't want to hog it up. Go ahead.
Can I make a point, General?
Please, General, please.
In Kenosha, right? In Kenosha, same with Kyle Rittenhouse, but he coming to Kenosha, don't even live there with his rifle, walking around in front of police, and they're murdering 2 people, right?
Right.
And, you know what I'm saying? And he beat the case, as we see, right?
And went home on the damn case.
You can't.
Which is insane.
Right. In 2018, I believe it was, a young 17-year-old girl in the same place, Kenosha, killed this Edomite that was sexually abusing her for a while, right? Grown Edomite, she's 17. She finally got fed up. And when he paid for her Uber, you know what I'm saying, to come see him, she unloaded on him and shot him up, burned his house and everything. She about to have a trial soon, and it wasn't even looking good for her.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's a different ball game.
God, it's a whole nother thing with us. She about to get sent up, you know what I mean, for killing her abuser. But you know what I'm saying? But you know, her lawyers now, they trying to switch it up and use Kyle Rittenhouse to get her off. But the point is, look how easy this cat got off. You know what I'm saying? Skated. A black child, you know what I'm saying, murder her, you know what I mean, her oppressive abuser and pimp, you know what I'm saying? And they was investigating them for child trafficking, child pornography, all that already. She still was looking like she going to jail.
Yeah. You know, listen, I've seen cases, if I could, I've seen cases where some drug dealer pulls a gun out on another drug dealer, and the other drug dealer pulls his gun out and kills the guy who pulled the gun on him, and they still go into jail. Manslaughter, second-degree man, and meanwhile they pulled the gun out on the guy. You know what I mean? They find some loophole. Well, your gun was illegal, or you were a felon, or some way. Meanwhile, this cat pulled a gun on him, firing on him around the car. He pulled out his gun, fired back, and killed the guy. They sent him to the penitentiary. Meanwhile, this cat can come out with a damn rifle in a crowd, in the middle of a crowd, and create chaos shooting them. And brother, it's going to get more and more of that. Like that, like they pushing that spirit for them Edomites to step out into that Rittenhouse, that Zimmerman. They pushing that spirit that you can do. And listen, they wanted to let them bubbas off down there on the Aubrey case.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't bring it over the top. They was trying to get them free too. Because if they'd have got them free, then it would have been a full indictment that now you Edomites can turn around and attack black people whenever you feel like it. And don't worry, we'll back your play up. You understand? Like really, tell you the truth, the only reason they curtailing the cops from doing it is because of the lawsuits. They don't care if the civilians do it, because of course they can't sue the city for it. So after a while, these Edomites will be running around in the streets killing black people, and they'll just have to get sued or go to jail or whatever. But them cities going to try their best to protect their cops. They don't want them cops bringing $1 million lawsuits on them. So they will fire a couple of them cops or reassign them or give them some desk duty or suspend them for a little while. But they ain't really trying to cut them off. They wish these Edomites in the public would just take it up for themselves, because then the burden is on them. They just sit back as the judge in the middle of the whole beat. And then they can go right into court with their white supremacist spirit and let the Edomite off like they did with Rittenhouse. To them, that's a perfect scenario. The cops stayed all the way in the back down by the gas station. He went up in there and shot up the damn place. No law enforcement officers in trouble. You understand? And they good to go. The city can't get sued. None of that. And even if it do get sued, it ain't going to be the same as if one of them cops shoots somebody. So this is evil as hell in this place, man. Go ahead, you die. It's a lot. Or was that it on?
That was pretty much it.
If I may, sir.
Con, go ahead.
if I may, sir, and this, you know, what y'all bringing out is so heavy, and you know, like the idea, like, you know, you hear a lot of our leaders, they act as if like, you know, civil rights was a win for Black people. You know what I mean? They act like we did something with civil rights, and it just shows. And this is why I say that the I.S.U.P.K is the home of the truth. And like, I'm so glad for what you laid down, and the generals and the captains and the officers before me laid down, because like just being in the school and understanding the scriptures, not even with like no other books or reading anything, but just reading the scriptures give you a good understanding of the oppressor's supremacy. You know what I mean? And like, so like when you see when I see their like what they do, their behavior, it's like it doesn't have any bearing on me in any way, because I totally understand it. So it's like if I go to my slavery in the morning and I see them smile at me, you know, and they're happy in the morning, they're still the devil the Bible speaks of. If they're mad, they're still the devil the Bible speaks of. If they shoot up a store or a church or a school, they're still the devil the Bible speaks of. So it's like, this is why like the I.S.U.P.K is so important, because it gives you that full understanding of Esau. And so no matter if he comes to you with a smile on his face or he's shooting up the mall, we still understand that he's the devil the Bible speaks of. And without the I.S.U.P.K, you're not going to understand these things, and you're still going to try to move like our leadership moves, which is like a cowardice way, where we consider their welfare over ours. We consider their best interest, what we figure our best interest is their best interest. And it's really just overall just like a cowardice way to live. And you know, for any, like the natural thing for any man would just be to have his own nation, to be separated and have his own thing at just the very core of being a man. And in our leadership, they sell us out and show us that, you know, that being under this oppressor is just like our way to go, because we can't take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why sir, you know, I just want to just say, you know, I appreciate the I.S.U.P.K and everything you laid down, because this gives us great and full understanding on how this oppressor works.
Damn right. Most times right.
So can I bring out one thing, gentlemen?
Come on with it.
You know, we you know, a lot of things going on out here, but y'all gotta understand what Commander GEN.YAHANNA is telling you. The Bible says for the prophets to warn the people. You know what I mean? To warn them, to blow that trumpet. That's what we doing in here. Y'all gotta change. Time for making excuses and all the things you're doing, and gotta stop, man. It's time for you to make a change. There's a lot of evidence out there in the earth right now showing and proving who we are as the people. Stop being silly and simple, man. Give me Jeremiah 26:13 real fast, brother.
Honorable Khan, sir. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 26 and verse 13. Therefore now amend your ways.
The Lord is saying amend. You know what that means? To change your ways, man. Stop being simple. Stop celebrating Christmas knowing it's a lie. Thanksgiving, Easter, New Year's Day, New Year's Eve. Stop celebrating these things, man. Change your ways. Stop eating shrimp, pork, crab, lobster, smoking. Stop having sex with your brother's woman. Stop whoring out Black women, man. Change your ways. Stop selling drugs to your own people, man. Treat your brothers like how you want to be treated, like how the Bible says. Go ahead.
Honorable Khan, sir. And your doings.
Go ahead.
And obey the voice of the Lord your God.
I mean, obey the voice means you got to do what the Lord say do. All that singing and dancing you're doing, y'all doing a Michael Jackson slide in church like God is with you. You dummy, you daggone, you high, and get the high off of daggone dancing like a concert. But it don't mean God is with you, man. Obey his voice, meaning you hear the Lord say do, you're going to walk, you're going to do what he say do. That's what it means, obey God's voice, and we got to do that. Literally in a land called America, our blood is running red in the streets right now, literally. I mean, literally right now.
And if I could, Haas, if I could, Haas, and that's why everybody should join me for the 53rd annual Passover, brother, in Cocoa Beach, Florida. You understand? Where I will be down there expounding on all the righteousness that we can put inside us to combat this evil spirit that's out here trying to destroy us, man. Go to the website, ISUPK.com. The hotel rooms, listen, y'all better book them hotel rooms quick, because them hotel rooms are about to go. Okay? Book them hotel rooms, get your receipt, pay for that Passover, support this truth, pay your tithes, and join me down there. You can bring it back to me, Marah, and join me down there for the 53rd annual I.S.U.P.K. Passover, which is going to be outstanding. You understand? Join me every Monday night where I bring the heavy hitters in, ISUPK.com. Join us every Monday night, man, when we put it down in the truth of the Most High, man. I'm Commander General Yohanna, man, and this is our nation. Come be a part of it, man. I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK. Right.
That's right.
Every single crime they've ever done to you, God is going to make them pay. You know what? One of the biggest crimes they're going to pay for? They're going to pay for stealing your identity. Because the black man in America is the real Jew. You telling me you going to bust your behind on some job all year, struggle all year, and you going to run up in these department stores and get you some bags of toys, and you going to give all the credit to this piece of garbage? Haven't we give the white man enough in 400 goddamn years, man?
Right.
He can have that goddamn Christmas garbage, man.
Bury me a priest. Up at night, I never sleep, contemplating how to set my people free. Bury me a priest. Revolution, I be moving, got the feds, get a virus in these streets. Nigga, bury me a priest. Restoring honor to my dad's name, he died before he ever got to see you. Bury me a priest. If it's ever rest in peace, tell my kids that it died on his feet. Bury me a priest. So cold-blooded, but the hoes love it. Posted with the low stugging. At 15, I got caught up in the wrong spot. The cop tried to whoop me till my nose blooded. Now I'm fighting back. Suit up all my niggas in that black. Troopers with them killers in the cat. Catch me on the corner going hard with them motherfucking facts. Blaze on your bitch ass. Drop the truth for change, then I get cash. Bring it to the table, then we split that. It's that nation building.